Hi folks! If you follow the World Builders social media or comic or whatever you choose to follow, you may have heard that I like creepy dolls, like to the point of making them. Maria hates it, but it's so much fun! And now that Halloween is upon us, why not post a video about how to make a creepy doll whose eyes follow you? I made this creepy doll to send out as part of our first mid-season fundraiser back in 2014. No clue who got it. Hopefully nobody with a heart condition. Anyway, I picked up the doll at Goodwill on clearance. Her eyes were held in with hot glue and easily poked out. I needed to be able to see the back of her head for the illusion to work, but with the hair on, the inside of her head was completely dark. That wouldn't work. I needed to get a light in there, and I had a couple solutions in mind, but I'm going to keep you in suspense for a bit. There was a big swipe of glue that wasn't even hidden by the hair. I could have sanded it off without damaging the face too much, but I didn't like the sloppy paint job, and I figured her face would look more eerie if it was just a blank white, like a mask. Oh, there's one of its original eyes. I had to keep them. They stayed in a pencil can until I finally moved them to my monitor. I figured I don't have a webcam, so why not? Anyway, here's how I was planning to get light into her head: a 3-volt LED with a switch and a battery holder from Radio Shack. The dress would hide it once it was installed. I chose AA's and a 3-volt LED just because they were kind of easy and cheap. If you want to do a lower voltage LED and use like a CR2032 battery, those are definitely lower profile and won't leave a bump in the doll's back. You can hook up your LED to a light sensor or a motion sensor, so when the lights in the room go off, the doll's eyes go on. Maybe hook up a voice box to it and record strange whispering that will also start once the lights go out. Or maybe 30 seconds after the lights go out, maybe the doll will start laughing. You can get creepy. It's okay, it's a creepy doll. That's what they're for. I sewed it in position on the doll's back to make sure the LED stuck far enough into her head to light it up, but low enough that you can't actually see the light source. It even worked. Like, really worked. It was almost too bright, but you know what? Doll with glowing eyes. That's still good. I marked the center of each eye with a pencil through the eye holes, sketched them in place, and then painted them with enamel paint. Red, because it would be evil and it would match the dress. And it didn't work too well. But since I had the red paint out, how about a bloody tear? And check it out, they're wobbly looking because the head tapers away. So at that angle, they're oblong instead of round. I didn't feel like repainting them again, and they needed to look good. Right now, she looks okay. But if the effect doesn't work, I have to rethink how to creepify this doll. Time to do a motion test to see if they really do follow you, since that's the effect I want. Yes, they do. Even though they're not quite right, they work. Proof of concept. Now, I need to cook up some professional looking eyes that would compensate for the angled head. Photoshop time! I experimented with a few styles and colors, tweaking them for how oblong they needed to be to compensate for the head shape. In the end, I went with the eyes at the top. I chose blue to actually set them apart from the red dress. They'd be more striking that way. I made them bigger as well. That looks better. The eyes should center when the viewer is about 3 or 4 feet away. If you're farther away, the effect isn't as noticeable, and closer, the illusion is ruined a bit because you can see they're not actually eyes, they're just holes. So 3 to 4 feet was that sweet spot to get the illusion to work. Yeah, when they look down, that's pretty creepy. See what happens when we get too close? That's not creepy. But the illusion works. Time to fix the spacing and get her back together. Glamour shot. With the light off, she still looks creepy, all empty eye sockets and stuff. At first I was leery about the reflected light on the hair and eye sockets, but I ended up liking it quite a bit. Like I said, glowing eyes are where it's at, even if the movement illusion doesn't work. But since it does, bonus. Here she is with my other dolls. She fits right in, though she looks a little uncomfortable around creepy dolls. Final motion test. It almost looks like someone's trapped in there. That's it. It's about an afternoon of work, maybe a bit longer if you have to wait for the paint to dry and fiddle with the eyes. I've linked a JPEG of the eyes if you want to try making one of these for your Halloween party this year. The JPEG has the iris pattern just by itself too, in case you want to tweak them. Your doll may need its eyes squished a different way to compensate for the angles, so maybe keep track of that. Otherwise, have fun, creep out your friends, and happy Halloween! And another car. So many cars. Car. Used to be peaceful around here.